This video is made possible by Practical Defense Systems, the best online security training at the lowest prices. You can start your security career today online at pdsclasses.com. Check them out. Check this out.
This is Danger Close Tactical. If you guys haven't seen it, this is a Reaper targeting system.
This here is at another level. There's really nothing on it. It's 20,000 rounds on it. So I'm gonna get me one of these bad boys.
Hi, this is Joel Persinger. I'm the Gun Guy. Thank you very much for all of your support of GunGuyTV. I'm very, very grateful for everything that you do, so please don't stop. Before I start talking about the Reaper target and tell you why I think it's amazing, and we'll show you a little footage of it, I do want to remind you to check us out on these alternative locations because YouTube is always a little sketchy. We have added Rumble, by the way, you may notice, although at this point I don't think we're monetized yet. So I don't know if the channel is actually searchable or the website or any of the videos are searchable. So you'll have to follow the link in the description, but I would appreciate it if you'd subscribe to Rumble. We're also on Parler. We're using that and trying to shift away from Twitter and those other things. So if you wouldn't mind checking us out on Parler, it'd be great too. And also you can check out the GunGuyTV Firearms podcast on your favorite podcast player. It comes out twice a month. Okay, talking about target systems. For most of us, the truth is that, you know, shooting is fun. We go out and we do fun stuff with it. We go to the range, we stand at the square range, we shoot targets for a while, and then we go home. Or if we're fortunate enough to do it and we have the targets to do it, we carry targets out to the desert, like this big steel target that I took out to the desert. Then we sit and we shoot the steel target, and maybe we bring some buddies with us, or if you're me, you shoot some video of it or whatever. And once in a while you go out with family. I go out with my son, and we do fun stuff. We take the cannon out, and we throw cans up in the air with it and hit them with shotguns, which is a lot of fun. There's lots of fun things you can do in shooting, hunting and competition and other things. For some of us, though, particularly if we've carried a gun a lot, or if we carry a gun today, or we're worried about home defense or any of those things, or if for veterans who want to keep their skills up, or law enforcement guys who want to keep their skills up, it's a challenge. You have to be super creative about figuring out how you're going to do that. Sometimes there aren't ranges available where you can move, and training yourself to stand in one spot is not a good thing. You want to be able to move and get off the X. Sometimes ranges will not allow you to get super close to the target. You got to come up with a creative way to do that. I've even set up targets in my backyard and used airsoft to be able to practice some of these skills because maybe there wasn't a range available for me to do those kinds of things. And then where steel is concerned, it becomes a major production because steel is heavy and most targets are hard to set up. That one I showed you that I was shooting at with my wife's little PC carbine weighs a lot, and I have to use a crane on the back of my truck to lift it up and hold it there so I can put the stand on it and stand it out there and then drive back out there with the truck and do it again. So if you don't have a truck, or you don't have four-wheel drive, or you don't want to buy a little crane, or you don't have friends that are going to help you do it, that's a pain in the butt. Okay, well, enter these two guys. I met these two guys at a buddy's house who is he's a firearms instructor as well. He's a federal agent. He teaches a federal agency, and he met these guys, loved them, and decided he wanted to introduce me to them. So I went out and looked at this target. Now, pay no attention to the old, bearded, fat guy in the middle of the picture. You want to look at the target that I'm standing next to, and then look at the two guys, because there's one guy who's the shorter guy. His name is Nate, and he's the one that looks like a short version of Captain America. And then the other guy, that's Kiko. Kiko's the pretty one. He's going to slap me when he sees me next for telling me he's the pretty one. Nate invented this target. These guys are both former Marines and were involved in law enforcement and teach on the range and so on. And Nate in particular was a combat Marine, seen a lot of combat. And so as a result, he knows where you got to hit a bad guy to get him to stop. Well, that's important, okay? Because all the things I showed you about the different ways I practice and the different ways we train, they generally involve a silhouette target about this big. This target solves that problem, as well as some others I'm going to talk about. One is the target's too big, and we figure anywhere we actually hit the target is a good thing. Well, that's probably true to a degree, but it's not necessarily going to stop the fight. There are certain things in the human body that you've got to impact in order to get the fight to stop. One of those is the central nervous system, so that's the spine, head, and like that. Another is bone structure. If you shoot somebody solidly in the hip, they're going to go down because their hip just got shattered. They can't stand anymore. If you hit them in the heart or anywhere in the pump there or anywhere in the cardiovascular system or the lungs or something like that, you've impaired them a lot. But if you hit them in any other places, all you've done is, they may not even know they've been hit. And that's the problem with these kind of crazy targets where we're all shooting at targets that are this wide all the time, is you don't know. Maybe you impacted that person and maybe you didn't. And as a result, we have to be careful with the kind of shots that we take and make sure we take them in such a way that it does achieve the goal. Well, with this target, if you don't hit a critical spot, you missed it. If you hit a critical spot, you get a response because you get the clang. It's set up so that the stand has a place to put your wooden target holder, to put your silhouette in front of this target. So now you're shooting at your silhouette. But if you don't hit something critical, you don't hit the steel, which means you don't get that auditory response. If you hit the steel, you know you hit something critical. It begins to train you on where on that silhouette you need to shoot in order to hit something that's going to more quickly stop the fight. This is a great training tool. Now, here's the other magical things about it. It's modular and toolless. One guy, me, anybody, pretty much anybody, if you can pick up, 40, 50 pounds, I think is probably the heaviest piece of it. The rest of it is fairly light. It all comes apart in about 2 minutes, and it all goes back up in about 2 minutes. One person can set this thing up very, very easily, and because it's modular, it comes apart, it'll fit in the back of your SUV or in your trunk of your car. You don't need to have a pickup, you don't need to have a crane, you don't need to have any of that kind of stuff, and you can set this thing up. The other thing you'll notice when you watch Nate shooting at it with a rifle is all the rounds are hitting the berm behind him. Now you think he's missing the target, but he's not. He's hitting the target, and all the rounds are being reflected from the target behind it about 2 feet and down. It's kind of a miracle. It's all the angle at which the plates are sitting, which means you can engage this steel close. You can practice your close quarters drills and close quarters fighting very, very close with this target. Now, I wouldn't do point shooting, right up against it, but you can get within a few feet and you can ring the bell with this thing, and you can do it with a rifle, handgun, whatever, because those rounds are going to be reflected not back at you and not down in front of you, but behind you and into the berm. So this design is incredible. I cannot tell you how impressed I am with it. We're going to take it out in January. He's going to bring more than one, maybe 2 or 3. We're going to burn up, 1,000 rounds or something and have some fun with it. We'll shoot a lot of video for you, and I'll do another video on the target once we've had an opportunity to go out and shoot it. But I couldn't wait. I'm so stinking excited about it. I wanted to let you know what I've discovered and what my buddy pointed me out to, and talk about these guys. I really would like to help them. This is their business. They're combat veterans. They're United States veterans. I want to help veteran-owned businesses, and this is one. And no, I'm not making a dime. They're not giving me a free target. They're not paying me anything. I just like them a lot, and I love what they've built. And so I want to make sure that you're aware of it. Check them out. I'm going to put links in the description to their website and their YouTube channel. They don't have very many subscribers on their YouTube channel. They're planning on putting up some classes and some other things up there, so I urge you to subscribe early. I'm not going to, on YouTube, I'll put it in the links in the description, or in the first comment, and pin it to the top, because in the description, YouTube's weird about links, but I'll put it in the first comment. The rest of the places you'll find it in the description. Check them out. It's Danger Close, and their target system is the Reaper target training system, I believe. It's the most astounding thing I've seen in a very, very long time, and easily the most innovative and I think practical steel target I've ever seen from the standpoint of training to defend yourself with a firearm. So please do check them out. Thank you very much for all of your help again, and thank you for watching the entire video. I'm really grateful. Have a wonderful Christmas and a great New Year. I'll keep saying that as well until we get there. And in the meantime, whatever you do, wherever you go, stay safe.